What's up, everybody? We at Death Star Studios. This is Mike Mixer, and you're rocking with HustleHearted.
Okay, we're here with Mike Mixer. I wanted to start off by asking you, where are you from?
I'm from Latta, South Carolina.
Okay. How was it growing up there?
Pretty boring. It's a small town. I graduated with like 80 people. And wasn't much to do, hunt, fish. It's a typical small town.
Okay. So how did you get started producing?
I started producing when I got to college. I got introduced to FL Studio from a guy on the hallway that used to like do music and stuff. Mm-hmm. And I went in there. He's like, yeah, I make my own beats. And I was like, cool. And he gave me the program, and then I started messing around with it.
Do you remember the first beat that you made?
Yeah, it was trash. It was like real trash. It was like the BPM was probably like 190 something, and there was like a bunch of hi-hats going weird, and it was horrible.
Okay.
But when he gave it to me, I stopped producing. Like I stopped because I couldn't figure out how to do it, and then I picked it back up like probably sophomore year.
Do you only produce or do you engineer also?
I just produce. My thing is I want to be good at one thing before I try doing everything else.
You're here in Atlanta now. When did you end up moving to Atlanta?
I moved here in November 4th of 2017. After I had a song with Plies and Kodak that came out, and then I moved.
So how did that project come about?
So they did FEMA back in 2017, and I was working with StreetBud, and we were just making beats. Like I was paying him for collabs, and that was one of the ones he sent off to Plies, and then that happened that way. So
how is it for you out here since you moved out here?
It's different because I used to live in Myrtle Beach, and I'm used to water, and I'm used to beach and going out to bars, and just doing like regular stuff all the time. And then when I moved out here, it's like studio. Like as soon as I got here, it was like I got right in the studio. I didn't waste no time. Like I had my management put me in a studio one day, and then I just kind of just started going from there.
So who are some of the people that you've produced for?
I've worked with, let's see, the first placement was Plies and Kodak. I've worked with Jacquees. I've worked with StreetBud. I've worked with Lil Doug. I've worked with Shy Glizzy, Money Man, Lil Got It, Gunna. I just had a song with Fetty Wap and Tee Grizzley that just came out. Quavo. I've worked with Chainz, Schoolie. I've worked with people over there in Paper Route. FYB, like a whole lot of people. Like you just never know who you're gonna run into in Atlanta. Like it's crazy.
Okay. So what's some of your favorite equipment or programs to use in the studio?
I just use FL Studio, and I don't use no interface. I don't use none of that stuff. I just use computer, headphones, pop it in, start making beats. So
when you produce for artists, do you send off beats, or would you rather come in?
I'd rather them, like all the people I've named, like I've worked with in the studio. So I have a one-on-one relationship with them. It's easier when you're in the studio because you're guaranteed pretty much a placement if you're with the artist. Now, if you send beats out, like you just never know. Like artists don't send the songs back, and like they might just come out. They might not do paperwork. Like it's just, I'd rather be in the studio than not be in the studio.
Okay. So do you play any instruments?
Nope.
Okay. What's your favorite drum kits?
My drum kits, the ones I make.
Oh, you make your own?
Yeah, I use all my stuff.
Okay.
So, but that's from like, time of using other drums and like just putting effects on it, and I bounce them down and then I just use my stuff. I recycle.
Okay. So, how would you describe your style as a producer?
Like real melodic, with like kind of a bounce, just like a different kind of bounce. Since I'm from South Carolina, since that sound is hit, like it's kind of like that sound, but just like how I do it. I do like all different styles. So I can do pop beats, or I can do country, I can do rock, I can do hip hop. So I don't really think I have like a style. I don't know.
Okay. So who's one artist that you've always wanted to work with?
Shoot, I'm working with them now. Like everybody, cause I don't know, cause like I feel like I don't know. That's weird. I don't really want to work particularly with just anybody. Like, of course, you got like your,
Big
artists, but like I'd rather work with who I'm working with now instead of trying to find people to work with. I'd rather just let it happen when it happens.
Happen organically.
Yeah. So I know speaking it into existence is something that happens, because I talked about working with 2 Chainz forever, and then just getting to know certain people around him, and then just getting introduced to him. Like I finally got to work with him, and it was like something I kind of spoke into existence, if you want to say something like that.
Okay. So what's your favorite track that you produced with the artist so far?
As far as one that's out, I'm talking about one that's out, or just one that
you produced so far. I mean, it could be something that's not out.
Shoot, everything I've got with like Lil Doug, like is probably some of my favorite. But Money Man's Exotic is probably my favorite one that's out. It did kind of the biggest too, as far as any song I've done. But I've got a lot of stuff with Schoolie I like, and I got a lot of stuff with who else I got some stuff with? StreetBud. Like stuff that we have is really good. So yeah.
Okay. So I know you spoke about it earlier, but how did you end up linking up with Fetty Wap for the song Zoo?
Yeah. So my management is really tight with 300, and 300 rents out studios for like a week and brings all their artists in. Mm-hmm. And so I pulled up. I was really supposed to work with OMB Peasy, because I was on his last album, and I was trying to work with him, but it didn't work. And Salim came up to me and was like, "Hey, we got Fetty Wap coming to the studio tomorrow. Like, you want to work with him?" And I was like, "Yeah, why not?" And so I came up the next day. I got there at 6. He's supposed to be there at 6. He shows up at 10. So I'm waiting around for 4 hours, and this other guy comes in and plays beats like before me, which kind of threw me off. And then they did a song, and then I didn't think I was going to be able to get nothing with them, because once they do one song, I'm like, it just, the vibe was kind of weird. And then, but then everybody from the label came in, like Kevin Lyles was there, Celine was there, Megan Thee Stallion was there, just like a bunch of people. And then I played 2 beats. He liked the first one, but the label wanted the second one. And then Tee Grizzley just walked in, and then that's how the song came about. But I didn't even know it was gonna come out, because when they did it, they just halfway did it. And then I didn't think nothing was gonna come of it. And then like 2 months later, they're like, yeah, the song's about to drop. And I was like, cool. So shout out to Strib for doing that beat with me too. So.
Okay. So if you had to, I know you said you don't really want to just work with any particular artist, but
right.
If you had to choose an artist to collab with for a project, who would you choose?
I'd probably do like Schoolie, because me and him got really good chemistry. As far as like who's popping, like probably like Schoolie or somebody like that. Somebody who can like sing and rap. Maybe like a Rowdy Rich or like somebody like that.
You feel like that feeds into your style?
Yeah, that'd be like, as long as they can like sing kind of sort of, and kind of do like a melodic style, I think we would do. Because I don't really make like, I'm not really good with like that club sound and stuff. Mm-hmm. But like I'm really good at making like that feel good stuff that like you could feel. And I feel like any artist that has a lot of pain in their voice like would sound good. So.
Okay. So what's the funniest DM you ever gotten about sending out beats or to
like
when artists? Yeah.
Like when I collab with people?
Uh-huh.
Oh man. I'm trying to think. Because I get them, all of them really are funny, really. Like, everybody, like, if you're going to collab with somebody who's, like, in a position to get it placed, don't ask about, is it going to get placed? Like, I've literally, like, get it, and then they'll be like, yeah, bro, so you got it placed yet? I'm like, no. Like, this takes time, you know? Like, and it's just, it's really annoying when people ask that. That'll make me not want to play it. But, like, as far as, like, funny, like, just, I'm trying to think. Because I'd have to go through my DMs, really. Because sometimes I delete that stuff. So, I know I get, like, this all the time, like, yeah, bro, like, I make, like, the hardest melodies in the world. Like, you should work with me. We could, you know what I'm saying? You can get it placed. I'm like, why? Why do I want to get it? You know what I mean? I don't know you. Like, I'd rather work with people I know. Because everybody I know, it's hard, so.
Okay. So, do you have any wild studio stories? Any wild things happen in the studio during sessions or anything like that?
I've had a gun pulled out on me before. First time I met Lil Got It. Like, this was before he blew up. Like, he was, I walked in there and I was like, as soon as I walked in, they kind of like, you know, kind of reached. And I was like, I just make beats. You know, and they were like, who are you? I'm like, I make beats. He's like, all right, well, play something. And I played something, they weren't really feeling it. But yeah, that was kind of crazy. Just having that kind of, that tension. You know, I've been kicked out of sessions and stuff. I don't really want to talk about why, but just for other reasons that people have other things going on. And sometimes they don't want you in the session. But like, I know like being in the studio with like Jacquees, like they do a lot of pranks on each other. Mm-hmm. Like Quee, he does this thing where like if somebody's sleeping, he just throws mints or candy or whatever. My voice just cracked again. We talked about that. But yeah, like I don't know, just they do funny stuff too. Like just
what's your favorite studio to produce out of?
I work out of Death Star. It's a new studio in Atlanta. It's pretty dope. It's Done Deal Studio. And I come here every day. I work in here. It's 24 hours, so it's always open. So it's kind of convenient. Once I get done doing what I'm doing during the day, I can come through here and just work.
So how did you start working with Done Deal?
So I met Done Deal at a day session. We were at Patchwork, and I was in there making beats. And Done Deal walked in, and my beat was playing because Day was recording on it. And he was like Dunn's got this classic little head bob he does, and he was just walking around the studio, and he was like, "Who made this beat?" And my boy Lil Doug, he was in there with me, and he overheard him say it, and he was like, he made it in the corner. And so Doug had texted me and was like, "Yeah, bro, like come over here and introduce yourself." So anyway, so me and Dunn met each other, and then we started just working, and he ended up building the studio, and then he's got the Remedy going on, which is going crazy right now. And so we got that going on, and then we got some artists out of here with Easy Entertainment. So they're doing their thing, but that's how I kind of ran into Dunn, and we just kind of started working from there. So
what tips and advice do you have for upcoming producers in the game right now?
Just work with who you can. Like if you have an artist, that's the best way. All these new artists you hear about break through the industry with a producer. Like paying for collabs. I know that people kind of talk about that sometimes, but that's kind of how I got in. I used to pay people to listen, not to get a placement, just to listen to what they did to the beat versus what I did to the beat. So just network. You gotta network and you gotta move around. You can't get it in your mom's house. I promise. You gotta be out. You gotta go to these sessions. You gotta pull up on artists, go to events, do all that stuff. So get internships at studios.
Okay. So what lessons have you learned being in the industry so far?
Be around the right people, because there's a lot of people in this thing for the wrong reasons. Like you gotta be like watch you hang around. Like there's some crazy stuff. Be around like the right people. That's what I do, I guess.
So people who haven't heard your music or want to get in contact with you, want to collab with you, how can they get in contact with you?
You can hit me up on Instagram at one Mike Mixer, and we can chop it up from there.
Okay. All right, man. Thank you for coming out.